Hello, we are recording. This is my informative speech. Isn't this a beautiful audience that I have? Significant other, my stepson, my stepdaughter, my kitten, my dog, and a few others. Yes, this is all I have this time around is only these 3 people, so congratulations. They zoom in on your face. The beginning. Imagine, and for 2 of you, this is not going to be that difficult. Imagine that you're a 16-year-old. You're at a party, it's a friend's birthday party, or any other type of party that you want it to be. You're dancing, you're having a good time, you're hanging out, you're chatting, and then next thing you know, blam! You're on the ground. You can't move. You can't walk. You can't do anything. You are basically paralyzed from the waist down. Nothing. You have no idea what's happened. All you know is pain and fire. That's it. And you're 100% completely and totally frightened. That was the beginning for me. This degeneration is a process. It's a natural process. We all go through it. You go through it as your body ages. As you grow older, the little shock absorbers in between your vertebrae bones in your back will start losing fluid. They'll get thinner and thinner. Eventually you whine, oh, my back aches. You get turned into an old lady, you might need a cane. But for some of us, those drastic changes happen a whole lot sooner and a whole lot faster. I have suffered with this degeneration now for 25 years. The 2 of you haven't even been alive that long, neither one of you. I require 2 main prescriptions. I actually have 3 here, just for your entertainment purposes. The first one here, this big fat bottle, is ibuprofen 800 milligram Motrin. Helps with the inflammation, helps with the pain, helps things so I can at least move a little busy. Look, I can actually stand here tonight. The next one that I have here is Percocet. Ooh, Percocet, la 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 la, put you in la la land. I have taken Percocet for so long, I don't even know what la la land is like anymore. But it's supposed to help the pain. The last one that I have here is Flexeril. Flexeril is a muscle relaxant. I take this because the actual discs in my back have narrowed down in the center so much they start causing the muscles to clamp down on my nerves. So sometimes just to even be able to stand, I have to take the Flexeril. I live with a heating pad every single day. I have more ice packs than I can even count. I own 2 back braces. And of course, my handy dandy, trusty Rose cane. It usually goes in the car with me. For the last month or so, I've actually been able to leave it home. We're having a good month. Let's keep it that way. That's a normal life for me. When my back decides to completely go out, I'm on a first name basis with the emergency room doctor at the Bellevue UNMC. So, sorry about that. I've had 1 back surgery already and another one they want to do in December. Now, I reviewed the surveys that I gave out to you guys last week, which I'm actually a little surprised. Only 40% of you said that you experience any back pain. I'm used to things like 65%. I was actually very surprised. So, I'm hoping that my information will be actually quite revealing to you. Today we're going to figure out what disc degeneration is, its symptoms. Is there even a cure for it? So what is disc degeneration? In your spine, like I said earlier, you've got vertebrae, big old fat bones. In between those bones are the discs, the shock absorbers. With those shock absorbers, they're normally about 8 millimeters, about yay big. My biggest one is 4 millimeters. Most of mine are 1 to 2, so I'm just about bone on bone. But hey, that causes arthritis too, yay. So, as that space gets smaller, things happen. And sometimes they happen rather quickly. Now, according to Robert B. Keller, orthopedic specialist for WebMD.com, there's 2 different kinds of disc degeneration. The first kind is the most common. You actually lose the fluid in the disc. So they actually get narrower, they get smaller, they get thin. That's mostly what I have. The other kind is they start to dry out and the outside membrane starts getting tears in it, so all of the stuff inside decides it wants to try to start leaking. Yum, right? So this can cause a rupture. In my case, it wasn't a rupture, it was a complete explosion. Whoops. So, now according to an article by William C. Shield Jr., written in January of 2012 for medicinenet.com, some of these causes of disc degeneration are going to be varied. Some of it's going to be from an injury, heavy lifting, sports, volleyball, basketball, baseball, football. Oh, football season. Love it. If you're lifting things, lift with your knees, not with your back. Saves a whole lot of issues. In addition to that, there's people like me. It's genetic. My entire family has back issues. I just happen to be the advanced version. Aren't I special? In addition to that, it can just show up all of a sudden. Just anybody from any walk of life can just all of a sudden, they can't move. They don't know why. They didn't even do anything that they remember. It's just there. Some people have no symptoms at all. Some people, with the same amount of damage, can't move at all. So it varies in huge amounts. The lower back pain, spread down your legs so you feel like your legs are on fire. If you have pain mostly up in your back, it'll spread down your arms. I have a tattoo. See this lovely tattoo I have here on my leg? It's huge, right? I didn't feel it when it got done because this entire side of my leg is entirely numb from all the damage in my back. So, now that we know what the disc degeneration is, how do we find out if that's what's going on? First, girls say a doctor. Hey, I have to go see a doctor for my shoulder too. Surprise. Your doctor's going to do an exam. They're going to do a medical history. MRIs are my friends. They're noisy. You put earplugs in. They're fantastic. I sleep through them. I've had too many. They'll do range of motion tests. Sometimes those can hurt. I've been in tears a few times for them. They'll look for areas of tenderness. Usually my area of tenderness is usually when they try to have me bend backwards, and I usually stop right about here and go, ha! That's tender. X-rays, MRIs. X-rays really don't show much, so they have to do MRIs. CTs, even bigger. It'll show those symptoms. It'll show if there's damage. It'll show the nerve damage. Your medical history will show if there's any history of it in your family. So, once the doctor's diagnosed it, how do you fix it? you go. This degeneration itself has absolutely no cure. But there is a wide variety of treatments. Ice packs, heating pads, medications, canes, back braces, limitations on what you do. There's your at-homes. Pretty much right there, in a nutshell, in the bag. That's it. So, for your severe stuff, go to the doctor. He's probably going to recommend things like physical therapy. Physical therapy doesn't work. Cortisone injection shots. They put those right in your spine, right into the disc. Ow. Those get to the point where those aren't working. They decide that they want to do things like surgery. I've had one. I have a lovely 6-inch scar going down the middle of my back. Beautiful. Looks like a little train track. So, there's pretty much our entire day. That's how you treat it. There's not much else you can do. So where does that lead us now? That leads us to the end of the journey. Traveling through the human condition known as this degeneration. We've reviewed what it is, how you figure out if that's what you have, how do you fix it. You should be able to know now whether or not you have a little minor itty-bitty backache, take a couple of aspirin, call it good, you're fine. Or if you need to go to the emergency room and say, Toradol! Give me Toradol! Eventually, if that's the type of situation that you have, you and your doctor are going to become really close friends. I've lived my life with this condition. And it doesn't have to be totally disabling. Obviously, I'm standing here. There is a point that I may eventually end up the exact same way that I began. Paralyzed from the waist down and sitting in a wheelchair. But until that day comes, I deal with what is. And I will dance in the garden with the angels for as long as I can.